smile. Freeze your eyes and drop your mouth, and now you're smizing, okay? It feels weird, but it looks a certain type of way, I promise. Some thoughts probably should not be said out loud, but I recorded mine. Hey guys, it's Mara, and welcome to the podcast where I share my thoughts on the internet with all of you. It is a very rainy, cold, sad-looking first day of fall right now. But I'm also very excited because I feel like now it's finally kind of sort of acceptable to put up my Halloween decorations. So as soon as I'm done recording, that is what I'm doing. So today's episode was requested by one of my photographers, Tim, and this episode is going to be all about modeling, how I got started modeling, some advice for people who want to get into the world of modeling, and then I answered some questions off of one of my Instagram polls. So I guess to start out, I'm going to give you guys a little backstory of how I became a model, because this year, I think I branched out the most in my modeling. I got on my first billboard. I got in some more magazines, and I've worked with so many photographers this year that I've never worked with before. And I've networked a lot more this year, and I've met some really awesome people, and I'm very excited to move forward. I also got some very exciting news this year about a contract and about a fashion company that's very, 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 very popular. And I don't know what else I can say besides I'm gonna model. That's it. So let's jump right into the story of how I became a model. So most of you guys know Allie from season 1. She's my cousin, but she is also a photographer. If you haven't, go check out Allison's photography on Instagram and Facebook. She takes gorgeous pictures. Her pictures are so stunning. I adore them. I love them so much. She's so talented. And she did not pay me to say that. So a long time ago, when I was about 12 or 13-ish, Allie bought her first camera, and around this time she was just getting started in her photography business. So we kind of got started around the same time. And Allie asked me to be her guinea pig for her new camera. So she came over with her camera, we put together some outfits, and we just went and took pictures in my backyard and in my grandma's backyard and in a random cornfield on the side of the road. We just took pictures everywhere in some random outfits, and Allie went home and edited them and posted them on Facebook, and that was that. That was the very first modeling experience I ever had, and I'm still so thankful. To this day, anyone that asks me, I'll say my cousin definitely helped me get started, and I'm very thankful that she was there to help me start building my portfolio. So after Allie posted these on Facebook, I started sharing them to my Instagram, to my Facebook, and one thing that I think really helped is when I put them on Instagram, I used so many hashtags, and I used to get made fun of in school. They'd be like, your whole caption on your pictures is just hashtags. Which, yeah, they were. But this helped me get some new opportunities because I got an email from one of my local malls saying that they were looking for models that were in the back to school age. I think I was going into junior high or maybe high school. Junior high or high school, 8th or 9th grade. I was pretty young. But they were looking for back to school models to do runway for just the stores in the mall, putting together their sales and stuff. So I started doing that, and I got to do some runway. I had some portfolio pictures built up from Allie, and from there, a girl that goes to cosmetology school reached out to me and was like, hey, I saw that you are getting into modeling and you started modeling, and I need a model to come and model my makeup looks and stuff for my cosmetology school. It was a scholarship project thing. I did it 2 different times. I think one was for a scholarship contest, and then another one was just a final project when she was really into her classes and stuff. I don't know, something like that. But I told her yes, absolutely, and I went and modeled for Aveda. I know it has more words. Aveda Institute, Aveda cosmetology school, something like that. But I modeled in Cleveland doing runway of like makeup looks, but they also had like outfits to go with the makeup looks and all of that. So from there, I'm out of breath already. So from there, I had some runway experience. I had some experience building up a portfolio and being like on set, like doing photo shoots and things. And I finally reached out to an agency myself. Now, I did not stay with this agency long at all. There's like some other things that I didn't really like about it. But that's not for all agencies at all. I think it was just my experience. But this agency had me come to an open casting call, and I did get accepted to like sign with them and like go through their classes. And I took some of their modeling classes, which did give me a lot of experience about how to show up to like a very professional photo shoot set, and how you should present yourself to brands, and how you should present yourself on social media, and some networking things. They did give me some networking opportunities, some like group model, like portfolio building classes where you'd go in and like sit with these other models and you'd compare like portfolios and get advice off of things that they did and things that like modeling coaches would look for and things that brands and photographers would look for. And I also got to meet some directors in like Zoom class calls. That was really neat. So while I was doing all this, I also got a letter that said I was approved to come compete in the National American Miss Pageant. And this pageant, I still use on resumes to this day. Like the things that they taught me, I never thought that a pageant would really teach you about modeling or teach you really any life skill. But when I was there, they did teach me about stage presence and how to speak properly on stage to like audiences, which I use today in like communications classes in college, and when I have to give college presentations or if I'm going into like interviews and stuff. They gave us interview coaching, they gave us just like presence coaching, how to like stand, how to make like your body look good at certain angles, how to stand properly if you ever are getting an award or if you are ever on like a TV interview and stuff like that. And through this pageant, I also entered a photogenic contest, and I scored really high on that. I think I was like runner up in the photogenic contest. So they like used my picture on their website for a little bit and stuff like that. And I was Ohio State finalist in the National American Miss Pageant, and that was 2015, I believe. So 2015, 2016, 2017, I just like kept taking all the classes I could find. Some of them were through that agency, but I didn't really keep ties with them much. And then I still had like some follow-up like pageant things, so they'd like send us these virtual videos we could watch, and like I really just tried to take in and do as much research as I can while also still doing runways for malls and modeling like people's like makeups, and also modeling for Allie as much as I could, just like to build up my portfolio. And my portfolio at this time, I did have some like actual physical prints, like things that I would submit through like the pageant, and then some of Allie's pictures I just go and have printed. But for the most part, I use social media, being Instagram. And Instagram, I'd use a bunch of hashtags. I'd follow other photographers. I'd find models that had similar following ratios as I did, and I'd follow them and like see who they followed and saw photographers that they worked with, and I'd reach out to them and just try to like get as much as experience and research as I possibly could. And I kept doing this, and it would snowball and snowball, and I started finding online submissions to magazines. Allie helped me a lot with this as well, and Allie would submit some pictures in there, and I'd get published in magazines, and then I could connect with like magazine creators and like some small brands I modeled for. Like they would follow the magazine on Instagram, and I'd find the brands, and then we'd set up a collab, and they'd send me clothes, and I'd model their clothes, and then they'd use my pictures for advertisements on websites and stuff like that. So I would do things like this over and over and over, and it snowballed into today, where I'm working with brands. I haven't worked with like a local mall or anything in a second, but I'm probably going to see if there's any like opportunities still I can get into. I'm doing tons of shoots now. I've been on some like pretty intense like sets. I've been in a video commercial, and social media. I've been used in ads all over the place, even like universities. I've been used on billboards, used in like flyers, advertisements, like anything you can think of. Wow, I'm out of breath. But that is how I got started, and that's honestly how I plan to continue to grow. Definitely like the classes helped a lot just to have like that experience and be able to make like a resume. So currently where I'm at is I just got my first contract with a brand that I'm very excited for, but I don't think I can talk much on that. I have still a bunch of shoots with new photographers that I've never worked with coming up, and then I have some old photographers returning. I'm excited to shoot with them, and I'm still just building up my social media. I'm starting to focus more on TikTok as well, because networking on TikTok for businesses or like anything, honestly, like TikTok is amazing for that, and I view TikTok almost as like a search engine now. But yeah, that's how that happened. I'm very lucky, but I also think I did put in a lot of my own work as well, so I'm not going to discredit myself. But I also did get like very lucky. Definitely that I had a cousin from the get-go that was like, "Hey, let's make you into this." And sure enough, she did. The first compliment I ever got from her was that I had a nice bone structure, and I was terrified. She definitely saw the fear in my eyes. I was so scared. But I actually now read all the time that like models have like good facial structures and like stuff like that. So her compliment was actually legit. Was I terrified the way that she presented it to me? Yes. But it was a legit compliment, and I like carry that with me now. I have some advice written down for you guys about if you do want to become a model and what things I think you personally should do, some things that I've done, and some things that I didn't do that I wish I did. So the first thing is expect to invest some time and money into it. And you can start out doing like exposure shoots, portfolio shoots are called TFP shoots. But you also are going to have to expect to pay some money. There's some photographers that I worked with that I did pay, but I knew that they had like a bigger following. I knew that in the long run it would be more exposure for me, and it was going to be worth it if I invested my money into that. And also outfits, clothes, makeup. Sometimes I had people come with me to shoots to style me, or I'd hire people I knew, like friends that started their own cosmetology businesses and like makeup companies, and I'd hire them to use their products on me, or I'd hire them to do their makeup looks or to do my hair, or I'd make sure like before a shoot I'd go and get my hair professionally done, and I'd go and get facials, and like I invested a lot of my own money, but I think in the long run it could possibly like repay itself to you. It's worth it. But then you also have to remember to invest time in it. Photo shoots take a lot longer than people think. When I first started, I was like, oh, it'll probably be like an hour or two. It'll be like fast and easy. No, I've had photo shoots where I have been on set for literally 8 or 9 hours, shooting the entire time, looks after looks, like changing my whole face and makeup, changing hair, changing outfits, and like all doing it in this time frame. And then the prep before and then afterwards, like it doesn't seem like a lot of work, but it really is. Like standing is actually like a lot of work, and I know that seems ridiculous, but it's just the same poses, holding still over and over and over, and then like hurrying and changing as fast as you can, so like the photographers aren't waiting, but like you have to make sure you still are like presentable and like doing the look, and you have to be professional. It's a lot. So like expect to invest time and money, because you will, but it's worth it in the long run, and it's definitely fun. It's not like an awful thing to invest in. Like I definitely enjoy it, and I have a passion for it. My second advice to you would be to do your research and do not be afraid to network and reach out to people. I watched so many videos. I researched as much as I could about agencies. Starting out, I don't think I researched as much, and I do regret it, because I think I could possibly have set myself up differently when I went into agencies, but I did at least get classes that helped me network and I love the networking from it, but I wish my agency experience was different. And if I did more research beforehand into agencies, found people who were already signed with agencies that I could talk to, I think that would have went completely different for me. So that's something I definitely recommend doing. Research and network, reach out to people, do what I did on social medias, find people that are in the same niche as you. Niche? I don't know, that's a hard word, but I know it's spelled like that, kinda. Like a niche, N-I-C, yeah, whatever. But yeah, find people that are in the same industry, doing the same things that you'd like to do, or just like find someone to be your inspiration and see what they did and follow along and see what you can get out of that. My third advice to you would be comfort zones. I used to struggle very bad with anxiety. I still struggle with anxiety very, very bad. I was very, very shy, and I think my shyness has definitely changed. A mix between being in that pageant definitely brought me out a lot. Starting college really helped me. I don't even know how to explain it. It definitely brought me out of my comfort zone when I first started getting into modeling and first started doing runway. Like, I was always quiet in school, like middle school, even high school. I was very quiet and shy. I never want to be on the spot, and then turn around and my face is on billboards and on the back of newspaper articles, and I'm like walking runways in front of thousands of people. So you're definitely going to be pushed out of your comfort zone, but that is absolutely how you grow. This piece of advice I'm still working on, and I feel bad every time I do it, but it is important to say no. Because you are not going to be able to grow as a model. You're not going to be able to grow as a person if you are exhausted, or if someone, like, say a photographer reaches out to you and you just don't think their work is your type of vibe, your type of style. It's okay to decline. Don't force yourself to be in, like, uncomfortable positions. Don't force yourself to do shoots that you don't want to do just because you think it's going to, like, make you grow. Like, make sure that you feel safe. Make sure that you're well rested. Make sure that it is absolutely what you want to do, what you want to be perceived as. Just make sure. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to decline an offer. You don't have to take every single offer that you get to be successful. You can say no and still be a model. It is okay. My second to last piece of advice is try different looks. Some photo shoots, I've definitely was like, I don't know if I'm going to look good in this color, this style. And then it turns out to be some of the best pictures that I've ever taken. And here is an example. Allie really, 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 really wanted me to wear yellow. But that same agency that I didn't like working with told me that if I have blonde hair, I can never wear yellow because I'm going to look like a banana, which I was scared about the color yellow for the rest of my life from then. But I gave in to Allie's wishes, more like she was like, nope, you're wearing yellow, this is happening. And I wore just a different shade of yellow. It was like a mustard yellow, okay? And we took some pictures in the yellow, and they turned out gorgeous. And my hair was as blonde as I could be, and guess what? I didn't look like a banana. So maybe the agency just had a different yellow color in mind, or maybe not every piece of advice you get is factual, or maybe she just wanted to sucker me in, so I sat through her color class thing, which I did. I sat through the what to wear when you have this complexion and this hairstyle and this. Yeah, I sat through that, and they said no yellow for me, but I wore yellow and it turned out okay. So try some different looks because you never know, and it's also good to even have a flop. Okay, if you do a photo shoot and it the pictures don't turn out how you wanted, at least you know for next time, and you also just get your name out there in general. More networking opportunities. I think for all of this, just think of networking opportunities. And my last piece of advice, which kind of goes with that, is build a portfolio. At first, it's going to be hard. At first, you might not have the best headshots. You might not have the best body shots. You might only have one or two looks that you really are ready to wear and ready to showcase. But try to build it up. Do some TFP shoots first. And if you don't know what that is, it is time in exchange for photos. They will not be paid shoots, but also you will not have to pay. It is more of like a portfolio agreement, like to build for each other. And this is a really good way to build up your portfolio and get some new looks, meet some new people, just like get started. But I think it is also like, just keep in mind, don't be expected to be paid right off the bat. I had a lot of people when I first started modeling, they're like, well, how much are you getting paid? How much are you making? And like when I was first getting started, I wasn't at all. But like I was still seen as a model, and I was still meeting photographers, and I was still getting opportunities without being paid. And that is okay. Like you have to start out, like to build up your portfolio, you have to like start reaching out, and it's not going to be like high baller, like I'm driving a Mercedes right off the bat. Like you gotta get there. It takes a while. Okay, so that's it for my advice, but I do have a bunch of questions for you guys that you left on my Instagram poll. So if you guys want to be in the loop about my upcoming Q&As, make sure to follow my Instagram, Mara_Lemasters, and follow the Thoughts Podcast Instagram page @_Thoughts Podcast. Starting out with question number 1. This is a really good one. I hear you know this super cool, amazing photographer lady named Allie. Is that true? Cousin? ? I actually do know this super cool, amazing photographer lady, and I actually already plugged her Instagram and Facebook earlier, but if you, for some reason, didn't pay attention, make sure you check out Allison's Photography on Instagram and Facebook, because she's awesome. She's amazing. She does, like, beautiful pictures. Right now, she just posted some dance pictures. Pretty impressive. Go check them out. Go leave a like. Make sure you go comment on it and say, I hear that you're a super cool, amazing photographer lady. And go bug her. Blow up her social medias. Thank you. Okay, on to some more questions. If you didn't model, what would you do instead? Wow. Honestly, this question scares me a lot, because when I like have really bad mental days, I'm like, what if like I can't turn this into a career? And I panic because I could never picture myself doing something else. I started at such a young age, and it's definitely came like a giant portion of who I am. But I guess if I absolutely could not model, I'd definitely be on social media still. I think I'd still have a podcast. I think I'd still do YouTube. I think I'd still do TikTok. I really want to own a business. I want to own a cosmetics line. I want to own a fashion line. I definitely still would be involved in like fashion and art and like girly like makeup stuff, like in some type of way. Or if I'm not allowed to do that, like if that wasn't a good enough answer for you, I think that I definitely just use my college degrees, because I will have a degree in business marketing and have a degree in psychology. So I guess I actually use my college degrees. I do that too. But I'm hoping that I can just turn model into something full-time, and if not, I always plan on keeping it in like a part-time passion of mine. Favorite shoot you have done? Oh, this is hard. Wow, I've done a lot that I really loved. I think one of my favorite ones that every time I look at, like, I still, like, my jaw drops at myself, is with Allie. I did this, like, sheer sheet type thing that she just, like, threw over me. I was wearing, like, a nude bodysuit, and I was just in this, like, clear fabric thing. I really like super creative, like, editorial looking, like, shoots that you do for, like, high fashion magazines. I love that stuff. It's definitely not styles that I would wear every day, like, out and about. Like, I wouldn't throw a clear sheet on me and walk around. But, like, someone in New York Fashion Week probably is going to do that, and I love that kind of stuff. Favorite outfit you've worn? Right now, I really like clean girl aesthetic, and when I'm looking back in shoots, I wore this green striped this green striped dress with, like, brown wedges, and, like, the picture in general is just light and airy and super pretty. Do you feel safe meeting up with photographers? Nope, not really. I'm not saying put yourself in uncomfortable situations. I do very thorough background checks. I reach out to people that's already shot with these photographers, and I, like, ask their experience. I really research the photographer, and if I get a bad vibe, I don't go. I know sometimes I might be missing out on an opportunity, and it might just be like me being paranoid, but I would much rather be safe than sorry. Have you ever model walked? Yes, when I first started to learn how to model, and when I first got my first runway, when I had my first runway event, Allie came over, and I'm pretty sure she watched me watch all these videos and then had me walk doing all these different runway walks in my room over and over, and she made me put on a dress and heels, which for the runway show that I was in, I didn't even have to wear a dress and heels, but it's fine. But I've model walked then, and then it actually was very good practice. And when I did the pageant, they also had a walking class where you had to stand up and go and walk in all these figure eights. And they had your pageant trainers come around and help you and correct how to walk. So I've model walked. I've model walked very bad, and I model walked very good. How do you prep for a shoot? So my preparation starts the day before my shoot. I do a skincare routine. I do my normal everyday routine, and then I throw in some more things for brightening and complexion stuff, extra toner, so my face will be very one color, no dark spots, no really light spots. And then I also do lip masks and under eye masks. So that handles the face skincare stuff. When it comes to outfits, I normally will ask the photographer about a week ahead before the shoot date, and I'll be like, hey, what are we doing for outfits? What do you want for hair? What do you want for makeup? It's okay to ask for inspiration photos. I ask them all the time. I'm like, can you go on Pinterest, maybe find some of examples of what you're looking for and send it to me? And then I will put together outfits. I'll test out some makeup looks, send it back, see if they are cool with it, if they approve of it. Or if you are doing some type of brand collaboration or some of the runway things I've done, you don't have to worry about hair, makeup, outfits because they'll already have it done for you, but you can still ask ahead of time, make sure you don't need anything. And then the day of the shoot, depending on if I'm getting my hair done, getting my makeup done, I'll have all of that planned out. I get ready way before I need to be ready because I like to give myself time to make TikToks and to take some behind the scene pictures. And then I make sure to get on set for a shoot about 10-15 minutes before I have to be there so I can mentally prepare myself, because again, I am a shy, anxious little girl, and I'm trying my best to be an extrovert. That's it. I'm trying my best to be an extrovert. But yeah, that's how I prep for a shoot. What do you bring for a shoot? So I always bring my entire face. So anything that I'm wearing makeup wise, I will have with me even if I don't need it. You never know what will happen. You never know if suddenly water is going to be involved, or if it's going to rain, or if you're going to need a touch up, or anything. I bring that. I bring extra outfits just in case, and I bring obviously the outfits that I already discussed with the photographer that they wanted. I bring all of that, and I also bring a personal bodyguard, whoever that may be, that weekend. I normally shoot on weekends, so that weekend. And I bring myself. Did you ever have a bad experience at a photo shoot? I have. I'm very thankful that I had someone there with me. I think that if that person wasn't there with me, it would have been a lot more bad of an experience. Nothing awful, terrible happened to me. I was just very uncomfortable. I didn't like the photographer. How the photos turned out, I don't think it was the vibes I was expecting. I don't think it was the vibes I was told that I was going to be shooting. It was just very uncomfy, but I am very, very thankful that I had someone with me. So after the fact, I could sit with them and be like, that wasn't what I thought. And they agreed. They're like, yeah, no, it wasn't just you. It definitely was not what we were expecting at all, but thankfully, that was the worst of it. I've definitely had shoots where it started raining in the middle, so bad that way. Yeah, it's been raining. I've had a thunderstorm once in the middle of a shoot. I had a photographer who all their power went out once, and we were like, oh, all right, I guess that's the end of that. But That's about the worst experiences I've had this far. Can you smize? It took me a while to figure it out, but I can now do it. If you don't know what smizing is, smile, and like your eyes are going to do like a thing, and you're not even going to notice it until right now you're thinking about it. When you smile, your eyes are going to like do this thing, so you have to like, okay, smile. Freeze your eyes and drop your mouth, and now you're smizing, okay? It feels weird, but it looks a certain type of way, I promise. It took me forever to figure out how to, like, freeze and isolate part of my face. Like, go sit in a mirror and just do it for, like, 20 minutes. It's hard to figure out. It took me a while, and even sometimes I still think I look, like, goofy doing it. But I figured it out. I can smize now. Is there a type of shoot you are dying to do? Well, now that it's spooky season, I want to do, like, all of, like, the Halloween-inspired shoots. I want to put a pumpkin on my head. I want to go and, like, throw a sheet on me that's not sheer and run around and be a ghost. And I want, like, all the witchy vibes possible. I also think it'd be really cool. I want some, like, gorgeous, beautiful headshots of me wearing pink to use for social medias, because I feel like all of my social media, like, headers, cover pictures, like my YouTube channel art, I always put like a light pink and marble in it, and then I can never find a good like headshot to use as my profile picture that also has pink and marble in it. So I think I should like get some headshots some point in my life wearing pink, like a light pink though. It's so hard. Like, I really can't find anything of me wearing pink for like a profile picture, you know? So I want to do that. I also want to do, this is really old. I don't even know if they're popular anymore, but the milk bath things with like the flowers and stuff. I want to do one of those. And I also want to do a like, not a secret spy vibe, but like a girl boss vibe, like blazer, sunglasses, like tight slicked back hair, just looking like you own that place, you know? I want to do one of those. And my last question, what are you planning for the future with modeling? Well, I definitely want to make a career out of this if possible. I want to also on the side own my own like fashion and cosmetic lines, and I'd like to model for my own brand. I think that'd be really cool. And if I one day could have the opportunity to teach my own like modeling classes, but not have it like you have to be signed with an agency to like do it, I'd have them like very discounted and like easily attainable classes, just like something that you could use on like a modeling resume, like, hey, I did take this class, you know? I'd love to be able to teach some of those. And then myself with modeling, I want to do more runway, but I'm very short. Like, the dream would be in New York Fashion Week somehow, but I'm so short, so I don't know how that would work. And magazines, I want to like up my magazine game so bad. I want to be like in Vogue one day. That would be amazing to me. If that's going to happen, I don't know. I hope so. And yeah, so I still plan on doing shoots. I still want to branch out. I just want to keep going. I want to keep like rolling my little snowball and see how big I can possibly make it go. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to my modeling podcast. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out on my Instagram, and don't forget to follow @_thoughtspodcast. And if you haven't, please leave a rate on your streaming platform. You guys can hear me next week in a new episode of Thoughts. Bye, guys.